Hey, small group leaders, I hope you're doing well today. Look forward to seeing you again this Sunday. I hope this past Sunday went well for you. I wanted to send this quick video to you to cover a couple things from our last session and also cover some things that are coming up. So I wanted to give a little follow-up to our question and discussion teaching session. I hope this past Sunday went well for you. I hope you were able to try to incorporate that into your teaching. So that will happen again this Sunday morning. If it didn't work out so well for you, or you didn't get a chance to implement that, I would encourage you to do it. Whether you did it before or you didn't, this Sunday is a good opportunity to do that. Your self-evaluation form is a good opportunity just to jot down some notes on how that went, so that when we come together on Sunday night, there'll be something for you to share. Because I don't know about you, after a few days goes by, I don't remember what happened many times. So what I would suggest doing is right after class, spend just a couple minutes writing down how that went, and then we can talk about it, and then we can learn from each other. We can learn from our victories and things that we can improve on, and then we can move on from that and grow and just continue doing better. So don't forget about those forms. If you need another one, you can call me at the church or email me. I can get one to you. And as I said before, they are all on our website. If you go to sbcsouthside.org/training, they are there. And you've got a couple in your book, and then we handed some out Sunday night when we met last time. So we're going to meet this Sunday. Same room at 5:30, and so I look forward to seeing you then. So kind of transitioning from question and discussion, this week when we meet together at 5:30, we're going to be talking about group exercises. So we hit on this a little bit in our last session, and as many of you recall from school, group exercises are not always the most fun thing. Usually one person in the group ends up doing most of the work. So you say, why do you want to take me back to that painful childhood experience of doing group exercise in school? Well, a couple things. As I'm going to share with you in most of our videos, they did this in the Bible. Okay, so Old Testament and New Testament, group exercise was used to teach people. Okay, so if you look just real briefly at Old Testament examples, the feasts, festivals, right? The Feast of Unleavened Bread, and this is all in your binder under session 2. If you want to go ahead and look up a lot of these scriptures, the Festival of Pentecost weeks, okay? This in Exodus 12, Leviticus 23. Festival of Tabernacle, all right? Booths, again in Leviticus 23. God gave His chosen people things to do to teach them about Him and His plan for them by giving them group exercises to do. So families had things they were to do together. Israel had things as groups of people that they were supposed to do. And God was teaching His people lessons about who they were supposed to be, how they were supposed to live, and who He was. So God did that in the Old Testament. He also did that in the New Testament. So again, this is in your notes under session 2. Throughout the Gospels, we see Jesus sending out the disciples to do things. He would send them out in pairs. Sometimes He's talking about the 12 disciples, okay, apostles, and sometimes they were a larger group, like the group of 70. All right, He would send them out in pairs to do work. One of the things that He did is the feeding of the 5,000. He told His men to go and feed the people. He had the people sit in groups and eat. This was a group exercise. Jesus, using groups of people and His followers, did an action, a miracle, to teach people about Him, to display His power over nature, to display His sovereignty. Another place you see group exercise is in Acts 2, 42 through 47 with the early church. They would meet in homes. They met in groups. They did ministry together. They read God's Word together. They prayed together. They broke bread together. That's another example of group activity in the Bible. In Acts 6, there was a process that needed to take place because widows were being neglected and they weren't being fed. They weren't being cared for. So a group got together. they formed a plan on how we were going to take care of these widows in distress. Another great place is Joshua 4. We're going to talk about this more in some of our later sessions, but in Joshua 4, there was a command of very specific details on what a group of men were to do. So throughout the Bible, there are group exercises. And so while it's not always our favorite thing to do, and as we're going to talk about more Sunday, there may be things that are roadblocks to that, whether it's the type of way you're having to meet right now, if that's online, whether it's the size of your room, the makeup of your room, furniture in your room, time constraints. So those are more things that we're going to talk about Sunday. But if God used group exercise in the Bible, and Jesus, the God-man, God in flesh, came to this earth, and in his very short ministry time on earth, chose to use group exercises to teach people and to carry out ministry, I think it's worth us examining how we could use group exercise too. Even though it's going to take a little more work, and even though it's going to take a little more patience and more instructions, sometimes the more that we put into it and the more our people put into it, the more that we get out of that. Okay, so I hope this video has been helpful. I wanted to make a little bit of a shorter video for you today. Apologize for not getting this video out yesterday. It's been a pretty active week, but I'm glad to get it to you today. If I can help you prior to Sunday morning, feel free to reach out to me, email, text, call. You've got all my contact information. Just remember this Sunday morning, as you're going to try to do question and discussion, to work that in, just be patient with yourself. Keep it simple. You might just start out the lesson with a question, give a few minutes for discussion. You might put it in the middle of your lesson. You may put it toward the end of your lesson. Maybe question and discussion is something that you've been doing for years, but maybe you found a little bit of a different way to approach that. So I just encourage you to give it a try. If we don't try, we'll never do anything new. And failure is not being imperfect, it's not trying. Okay, so we'll never get to where we want to go if we don't take that first step. So keep it simple, small steps, baby steps. Do some question and discussion this week. Okay, look forward to seeing you. Like I said, if I can help you in any way, let me know. Please know that I am praying for you. I'll continue to pray for Miss Joanne Brown. She's making some improvements, but she's still having some difficulty. If there's a certain way that I can pray for you, please always let me know. I would love to hear how to pray for you and your family. We've got lots of groups back on campus. We actually just have a few groups that are still off campus because of various health reasons and situations. So I'm really praying and hoping that COVID keeps going down and that these rules that we're having to live by can keep going away so that we can get back to ministry, not necessarily as it was before, but ministry that we can get back to doing together. Because I don't know about you, but there have been some beneficial things that I have learned during COVID. Some comfortable areas of ministry that I got comfortable in, and God's challenged me on that, and I think He's challenged all of us to think outside the box. And so that's just a way that we can continue to grow and continue to reach people for Him. So love you all. Look forward to seeing you Sunday. And if I can help you with anything, please let me know. Thanks and God bless.